Anderson wins it in overtime.
Brady Tkachuk, breakaway shoots, scores!
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon and I am your host. Today, Ottawa took on the Nashville Predators in a game in which, look, Ottawa, they have not won a game in regulation in Nashville since 2010. Take in. I have never made a video here on Sens Talk. This channel has been around since 2013. I've never made one video in 10 years of Sens Talk history in which the Sanders won a regulation game in Nashville. That is mind-boggling. Their last win in Nashville was in 2014. That was, of course, in extra time in the shootout, as Zibanejad scored in that shootout, Gord Miller said on TV. So my point is this. The Sanders are looking to rectify a huge streak here in which it's really random. I don't really know why they haven't won a game in Nashville since 2014, in regulation since 2010. But hey, you know what? Let's break that streak today. And once again, it's absolutely wild to me that the Senators have not won a regulation game in Sens Talk's existence. That is just wild to me. Now, moving on now, before we get into the game recap, Matthew Joseph, he took a big hit last game. He's going to be out now for 2 weeks. Just another unfortunate injury as the injuries start to pile up for Ottawa. Zub, Norris, Joseph, the list goes on. Another big injury for Ottawa. They're top 9, so really tough break there for Matthew Joseph. I really hope he gets better soon. Parker Kelly is promoted to the third line to replace Matthew Joseph. Now, the Sanders have given up the first goal the last 5 games, the last 9 out of 12 as well. So Ottawa really needs to start off strong here. They can't continue to give up the first goal. So let's head to the first period of play. And after 20 minutes, Ottawa and Nashville find themselves tied at 0-0. The shots, though, were in favor of Ottawa at 14-8 after 20 minutes of play. And frankly, Ottawa was fantastic in that first period. Really came out of the gate strong. They led the shots like 9-2 after 10 minutes of play in the first period. Just a really good start for Ottawa. Unfortunately, they couldn't get on the board there, couldn't capitalize, but, you know, a couple of players really impressed me. Tim Stützle, he is so dynamic. It's unbelievable that this guy is younger than me. He is younger than me, and he is dancing out there like a 10-year vet. It's unbelievable how he can thread the needle along the blue line, even with a defender on him, and still find a way to get to the hash mark and dish out the puck for a potential goal. Tim Stützle is so dynamic. His hands are so elite. This kid is only going to get better. He's a point-per-game player this year. Tim Stützle is a complete package, and he's really breaking out onto the scene this season with Claude Giroux and Brady Tkachuk, who, by the way, both of those guys in their own rights are having fantastic seasons. Claude Giroux, dynamite, better than, frankly, I expected. Tkachuk having, frankly, a season up there with some of the best talent in the National Hockey League. So Ottawa's top line has been playing fantastic, but it's up to the second, third, and fourth line in their forward core to really pick it up. We'll talk about the second line later because they've really been playing well as of late. The third and fourth line, we'll talk about them too later. Not so much as the second line. Now, as well, Tkachuk, like I already mentioned, continues to be a force every single shift. A couple of big hits there. And Cam Talbot, look, he was fantastic in that first period. Ottawa was doing a good job pushing the Nashville Predators to the outside, but the problem with that is when you push them to the outside and there's no one there to cover along the boards, more often than not, the defender will chip in and go in for an offensive chance. That happened a couple of times. Talbot was forced to make some big stops, but more importantly, he stopped the puck and didn't give up a big rebound. So after 20 minutes of play, 0-0 game, we go to the second period of play, and this is frankly probably the moment many of you guys clicked on this video expecting to hear right away. It's the thumbnail of this video. What the hell are you doing, Thomas Chabot? This is unbelievable. The TSN camera cut right to Tom Chabot as he accidentally hit Travis Hamonic in the face on the bench. He slammed his stick, it broke, and it caught Travis Hamonic in the right eye. He seems to be okay. He did return, played right away, no issue, didn't leave the bench. I cannot believe, though, that TSN caught that moment live. Just an absolute wild scene. I don't really know what Thomas Chabot was thinking there. Clearly, it was accidental. Immediate regret, you saw in the video there from Thomas Chabot, but just an absolutely wild scene, and frankly, a perfect encapsulation of the Ottawa Senators season. Nothing is going right. So just bizarre. I had to include that in this video because TSN, moments before that, Nito Niederreiter, took a huge run at Thomas Chabot, who's coming back from, concussion. So they were talking about that. And that is exactly when, Chabot hit Hamonic in the face accidentally with his broken stick. Just incredible job there from the TSN producers to get that moment live, but just a wild scene. And that, by the way, that moment went viral on Twitter. I mean, went viral right away. Kevin Lee on Sens Twitter, if you know who that is, he put out a tweet, and within moments, I think there were 30,000 views. Unbelievable. Ottawa continues to go viral for the wrong reasons, but a couple minutes later, hey, look, Austin Watson gets into a fight with his former teammate Lazone, and he gets the win. Austin Watson gets a huge fight W. I think that might might be his first fight victory as an Ottawa Senator. It's a huge one. And then a few minutes later, though, unfortunately, Ottawa continues the trend of giving up the first goal. Jankowski forces Brandstrom off the puck. Trennan fired it past Talbot as Chabot did not cover him. After going into the neutral zone for a pinch, the Predators strike first. It's 1-0. It's really unfortunate that the Watson fight didn't result in a goal for Ottawa. It resulted in a goal for the Predators. But guess what? It doesn't matter. That goal happened in the last few minutes of the second period of play. Guess what happened in the last 7 seconds of the second period of play? Claude Giroux buries the rebound on the power play. 1-1 game. Claude Giroux has 3 goals in his last 4 games. And that first line for Ottawa continues to fire on all cylinders. Tie game as we go to the third period of play. What a goal there for G Money, baby. We go to the third period of play, 5 minutes in. Alex DeBrincat on a 2-on-1. Nice little setup before that from Shane Pinto to spring DeBrincat on that 2-on-1 chance. And guess what? He puts it home. A weird one here, though. Dante Fabro puts it into his own net. They don't ask how, they ask how many, and that's another one there for Alex DeBrincat to give Ottawa the lead for the first time. It's 2-1 Senators, and then 5 minutes later, chef's kiss. What a pass, what a goal, what a moment. Drake Batherson, he sprung loose on a breakaway. He chips it glove side past UC Saros. What a beautiful Datsuk-like goal from the Drake Batherson. I might have to take a shower or take a bath after this. It's bath time, Ottawa. That goal was nasty, and great awareness, by the way, from Brady Tkachuk to feed him on that breakaway. They make it 3-1 Senators. But my, oh my, what a beautiful Datsuk-like goal here from Drake Batherson. Just chips it glove side past UC Saros on the breakaway. Beautiful goal there. Drake leads the Senators, by the way, on power play goals this season with 5. We move forward now a minute later. Really unfortunate goal here. Talbot definitely wants this one back. Nashville snaps one past Talbot's shoulder. Suddenly, it's a 1-goal game again. It's 3-2. And yeah, look, I know that wasn't a great goal there for Cam Talbot, but he's looked fantastic today. He made some huge stops, especially when they were down by a goal. And look, for Cam Talbot, yeah, rough goal. But overall, doesn't matter. He stole so many goals from the Nashville Predators. It's okay if he gives up a bad one like that. We move forward now in the third period of play. 4:36 left in the game. Matt Duchene, high sticks, Derek Brassard. It's a double minor. Yo, shout out Big Game Brass for bleeding on that one. Hope you're okay, though. But it's a double minor. And this essentially allows the Senators to control their own destiny. 4:36 left, double minor. That's a 4-minute power play. It's pretty obvious what I mean by that. They can essentially either score here a couple of times because a double minor, you can score a couple times on a double minor. It's not just 1 goal, power play over. Or you kill the 4 minutes and then control the last 36 seconds. Luckily for Ottawa, they didn't score, but they did control the last 36 seconds. And the Senators win 3-2 over the Nashville Predators. It is a massive victory. It's Ottawa's first 1-goal win in regulation this season. Shout out to Jack Richardson for the stat. Unbelievable. I can't believe they've only won 1 game this season in regulation by 1 goal. They are now 5-2-1 over the last 8 games. And they took 3 out of 4 points on this mini road trip. A huge victory tonight for your Ottawa Senators. And that's all thanks to Cam Talbot, who came up huge. 27 stops tonight, some massive stops, but more importantly, the rebound control was excellent tonight. After he got the puck, he didn't give the Nashville Predators a second opportunity to put it in the back of the net. Cam Talbot gobbled up the puck and did not let anyone else touch it. A huge game for Cam Talbot, especially because of rebound control. We've seen a couple of times this season Cam Talbot has struggled with rebound control. Tonight, the opposite effect. Huge game for Cam Talbot. Now, Ottawa's top 6 has not looked this good since Josh Norris's long-term injury. That second line especially has looked great as of late. The first line throughout the regular season has looked fantastic. All players on that first line, Stützle, Tkachuk, Giroux, have been point-per-game players. They've been carrying this team, frankly. But the second line has really kind of been holding this team back offensively. We expect a lot from the second line. There's a lot of good talent there. But finally, the second line is starting to break through. All 3 members of the second line today got at least a point. DeBrincat and Batherson got some tallies as well. DeBrincat had that own goal there from Fabro. Doesn't matter. It's still a goal. It counts. And then, of course, Drake Batherson got the game-winning goal. Pinto got a couple points, I believe, as well. So overall, that second line looked really good. The first line continues to look great. But the second line is starting to contribute as well. Drake Batherson has scored like 2 or 3 goals in his last 5 games, so he's starting to contribute a little bit offensively as well. So it's really great to see Ottawa's top 6 is starting to round into form. Now, what's not great to see is Ottawa's bottom 6. It does not look good. Of course, the injuries to guys like Matthew Joseph, it does not help. But overall, Kaslik and Gambrell have looked invisible as of late. I'm still a big fan of Parker Kelly, but he's absolutely been a letdown this season, no doubt. He had a few bad turnovers today alone. One on the penalty kill, a absolutely lazy turnover. Just he got a nice setup from Nikita Zaitsev to clear it out. Instead, he takes the puck, backhands it, and it's picked off right in front of the blue line. So, when you have an opportunity like that to clear it on the penalty kill, don't just take it and backhand it. Snap it out, ring it off the boards, do what you gotta do, but don't lazily backhand it out through the middle. Just stupid there from Parker Kelly. And then, overall, what I'm trying to say is this. When you have guys like Angus Crookshank absolutely tearing it up there in the AHL with 9 goals. Igor Sokolov, same thing, absolutely tearing it up. Both friends of the show, by the way. I want them both up in the National Hockey League. It's time to give them a shot. The bottom 6 has not been performing, especially offensively. There's been no offense coming from the bottom 6 unless your name is Derek Brassard. So for Ottawa, call up a guy like Angus Crookshank if you're serious about winning the season. He has played absolutely incredibly since his return from that ACL tear. It's time to give Crooker a chance. Igor Sokolov, I have a little bit of a concern about his skating and whether or not he can keep up with the NHL game, but he absolutely deserves a chance as well. So overall, you could have guys like Gambrell and Kelly and Kaslik and this and that. I get it. But those guys don't really bring anything but defensive hockey. You need your bottom 6 to start scoring and contributing offensively. Crookshank, Sokolov, these guys can really help provide a spark for Ottawa's bottom 6. So besides that, that is a huge victory for your Ottawa Senators. And their next game is on Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time against the Anaheim Ducks, one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League. That has to be a win. Let's make it 2 in a row. So besides that, I will see you Monday night. Huge win. Go Sens, go.